Hello friends, we have create login page under this React point of sale system. Now we want to validate login details. Hello friends, we have create login page under this React point of sale system. Now we want to validate login details. So for this, we have goes into login component, and under this, we have goes into handle submit function. Here we have start with try and catch block, so whatever code we have write in try block. And under that block code, if any error occur, then catch block of code will execute for handle error. Inside this try block, we have to make actual login request by using Axios.post function. So here, we have to write response variable is equal to await Axios.post method. So here, we are sending a post request to our backend server, at this backend server URL. This is a root URL of our Node.js backend server, and after this, we have to write API/login, so it will send post request to this URL. After this, we have to write open and close bracket, and between this, we have to write email and password variable value, which is entered by user. So here, if request successful, then response variable will contains the server reply, which should be include a token, if login credentials are correct. Below this, we have to write localStorage.setItem function, with two argument. In first argument, we have to write token variable, and in second argument, we have to write response.data.token. So here, if login is successful, the server sends back a token in the response data. And here, we have stored that token in browser local storage by using localStorage.setItem function. Next we have to write navigate function with /dashboard, so after storing token. Here we have used the navigate function from useNavigate hook to redirect the user to the dashboard page. So this way, we can redirect web page in React application, and here, this gives the access to the protected admin features of our point of sale system. Now we have goes into catch block of code, and this block of code will execute only if anything goes wrong in the try block, like network errors, server downtime or invalid credentials. And this error variable contains the details about error like what is failed. Under this block, we have to write if statement, and under condition, we have to write error.response variable, and error.response.data.errors variable, so if this condition true, then it will execute if block of code. Under this block, we have to write setErrors function, and under this function, we have to write error.response.data.errors variable, so this will display specific error message on web page. But if we do not get a specific server response like network failure or server crash, then it will execute else block of code. And under this block, we have to write setErrors function, and under this function, we have to write array. And under this, we have to write error message like an unexpected error occurred, so it will display this error message. So here, our front-end code ready for send login data to server, and now we want to write backend code for validate login data. So here under this route directory, we have create one new file with name like auth.js, so we will use for validate login data. Under this file, first we have to write constant express variable is equal to require function with express node module, so here, we have import express framework under this file. After this, we have to write constant router variable is equal to express.router method. So here, we have create new instance of a router, which can be used to define route handlers for this authentication module. Next we have to write constant MySQL variable is equal to require function with MySQL to promise node module. So here, we have import MySQL library with promise support, which allows us to use async and await with database queries instead of callbacks. Then we have to write constant bcrypt variable is equal to require function with bcrypt.js node module. So here, we have import bcrypt.js library, which is used to hash and compare passwords securely by using strong encryption algorithms. So all above node modules, we have already downloaded at the time of set backend server. Now we want to download JSON Web Token library, so here, in backend server terminal, we have run this command. So it will download JSON Web Token library in node modules directory. After this, here in auth file, we have to write constant JWT variable is equal to require function with JSON Web Token node module. So here we have import JSON Web Token library, which creates and verifies JSON Web Tokens for secure user authentication. After this, we want to download Express Validator library, so here, in backend terminal, we have run this command. So it will download Express Validator library under this node modules directory. Now in auth file, we have to write destructuring assignment with body and validation result from Express Validator module. So here, we have import Express Validator middleware, where body function validates incoming request data, and validation result collects all validation errors. Then we have to write constant fs variable is equal to require function with fs node module, so here, we have import Node.js file system module. After this we have to write constant db variable is equal to require function with db module from parent directory. So here, we have import our database connection module, which provides a connection pool to interact with MySQL database. After we have to open .env file, and under this file, we have to write JWT secret variable is equal to this hash string, which is our key for generate JWT token. Now under this auth file, we have to write constant JWT secret variable is equal to process.environment.jwt secret variable. So here, we have get JWT secret key from environment variables, which is used to sign and verify JSON Web Tokens securely. Next we have to write router.post method with /login path and middleware array. So here, we have defined post route for login endpoint and pass validation middleware array as second parameter before the main handler function. Inside the middleware array, we have to write body function which targeting email field chain is email method and with message for custom error. So here, we have validate that email field contains valid email format, which returning custom error message if it is invalid. Next in middleware array, we have to write body function, which targeting password field. After this, we have to write chain not empty method, and with message for custom error. So here, we have to ensure password field is not empty, which returning custom error if password is missing. After validation middleware, we have to write async arrow function with request and response parameters. So here, we have main route handler function that receives request and response objects and marked as async to handle database operations with await. First inside handler, we have to write constant errors variable is equal to validation result function with request parameter. So here, we have collect all validation errors from middleware, which will contain any issues found with email or password validation. Next we have to write if condition, which will checking if errors is empty returns false. So here, we have to check If any validation errors were found during middleware processing, then it will execute if block of code. Inside if block, we have to write return statement with response.status 400.json response, which mapping errors array to messages. So here, we have send HTTP 400 bad request response, with array of validation error messages, which stopping further execution with return. After validation passes, we have to write destructuring assignment, which extracting email and password from request.body. So here, we have get the validated email and password values from the request body, which is sent by frontend. Next we have to write try block to handle potential database errors. So here, we have wrap database operations in try catch to gracefully handle any SQL errors or connection issues. Inside try block, we have to write destructuring assignment with rows from awaitDB.query method with 2 parameter. In first parameter, we have to write select query for select user from user table, where email matches parameterized query to prevent SQL injection. And in second argument, we have to write email variable in an array format. Next we have to write if condition for checking if rows array length equals to 0. So here, we have to check if no user found with provided email address in database, then it will execute if block of code. Inside if block, we have to write return with response.status 401.json response with wrong email error. So here, we have send HTTP 401 unauthorized response indicating invalid email, which stopping further authentication checks. But if user found, then it will continue execute other block of code. And after finding user, we have to write constant user variable equal to first row from results. So here, we have extract the complete user object from database query results. Next we have to write constant is match equal to await bcrypt.compare with plain password and hashed password, which is stored in database. So here, we have compare provided password with stored hashed password using bcrypt, which will returning true if they match. Then we have to write if condition for checking if is match is false. So here, we have verify if passwords do not match after bcrypt comparison, and it will execute if block of code. Inside if block, we have to write return with response.status 401.json with wrong password error message. So here, we have send 401 response code, which is sent for invalid password credentials. Next we have to write if condition for checking if user status is not equal to active. So here, we have to verify that user account is enabled and active before allowing login. If this condition true, that means account is not active and not give permission for access system. So here, inside if block, we have to write return statement with response.status 403.json with account disabled error. So here, we have send HTTP 403 forbidden response for inactive or disabled accounts. After all validations pass, we have to write constant token equal to jwt.sign method. So here, we have start creating JSON web token for successful authentication. In first parameter is payload object with user ID and user type. So here, we have create JWT payload containing essential user information needed by frontend for authorization. In second parameter is our secret key from environment, so here, we have use secret key to digitally sign the token. In third parameter is options is the object, with expires in key set to 1 hour. So here, we have configured token expiration to 1 hour for security, forcing re-authentication after timeout. So this is completes the JWT.sign method call. Finally, we have to write response.json response with token and success message. So here, we have sent successful response containing JWT token and confirmation message back to frontend. Next we have goes into catch block of code for any database or unexpected errors. Inside catch, we have to write response.status500.json with database error message. So here, we have send HTTP 500 internal server error with generic database error to prevent exposing sensitive information. Finally, we have to write module.exports equal to router. So here, we have export the router instance, so it can be imported and used in main server file. So here our auth file code is ready for validate login details, and now we have to open index.js file. And inside this file, first we have to write constant auth router variable is equal to require function with /routes/auth module. So here, we have import the authentication router, which we created earlier from the routes directory auth file, which bringing in all our login route handlers. After this, we have to write app.use method with /API path and auth router as middleware. So here, we have mount the authentication router under the /API base path, which making our login endpoint accessible at /API/login when requests come to the server. So here our code is ready, and now we want to check login code is working or not. So first, we want to restart node server, so here in node server, we have to restart server by run this command. And same way, we want to restart React server by run this command in React server terminal. Now in browser, here, we can see login page on web page. First we have directly click on login button without entering login details. So it has display validation error on web page. So here validation working properly. Now we have entered wrong email and password details. After this, we have click on login button. So after click on login button. So here, we can see error message like wrong login credential error message display on web page. Now we have enter correct login email and password details. Now we have click on login button, so here we can see that web page has been redirected to dashboard page. That means, here user login data validated and redirect to dashboard page, so this way, we can validate login data. Next we will want to make admin layout, so we can display protected page on web page.